cost estimating in Primavera P6 18.8. Your instructor is Olakunle Babalola. There are two types of cost estimating. We have the direct cost and the overhead cost. The direct cost is the labor and non-labor cost, which also include expense cost, material cost. Then we also have the total cost that will give you the sum of the direct cost and overhead cost. The overhead cost is administrative cost, training cost, etc. So we are going to go straight away into estimating our cost using Primavera P6. So to start estimating cost, the first step I'm going to do here is to add material resource to the resource pool we did in the last video. So I'm going to click my enterprise, click resources. Already the labor cost has been added, which are the personnel, the project staff. So we're going to add the non-labor, which are the equipment, then also the materials. We're going to add it to the resource here. Already we have added non-labor. See the list of non-labor we have here. So we'll check if we have also added the prices of each non-labor we have here, the equipment. Okay, let's confirm. Okay, the prices have been added for the non-labor. So now the next step is to add the material for this project. So I'm going to start, click this, click on my add button. I'm going to give it a heading. Material. Okay, the ID. Click next. Now we have resource type here. I'm going to move down to the third one, which is material or the supplies. Click next. Now before you click next, you have the unit of measure. You click on the drop down. Are we using each, or we are using tons or dollar or lump sum or CPU or cubic yard or linear feet? Okay, because for now it varies. You see that we use each. Okay, now for this material, now each of them will cost a certain amount, so I'm going to use each. Select each, then click next. Alright, so I'm going to click finish here because it's just a title. So I'm going to shift this left. Alright, then I had the list of my materials. The first one, type the first one, flushing system. Next, material. Next, go back, change it to each. Next, then how much per material. Type around $50. Click next. Okay, so each is invalid, so take it back to, let me go to previous. Cancel, back here, next. No, I'm gonna take it back. That's we are selling. That's a flushing per dollar. Let's check dollar. Next. Okay, 50. Next. Okay, next. Resource calendar. Select an existing calendar. Next. Select existing calendar. Next. No, do not auto compute. Next. Finish. So I'm gonna add another one. Basin flushing system. Next. Next. Okay, per unit. Here gonna be $40. Next. 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 Do not auto complete actuals. Next. Finish. Okay, I'm gonna shift left. So to make these two to be on the same level, add again under material. I have pressure switch. Pressure switch. Then next. Next. Pressure switch. It's $80. Next. 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 Do not auto complete actuals. Next. Finish. Shift left. Add another material. I have floating valve. The resource ID being valve. Next. Next. Here $20. Next. 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 Do not auto complete actuals. Next. Finish. Shift left. Okay, they're on the same line. Then I'll add another one. Doors. I'm buying these doors for this project. Doors. Next. 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 Do not want to complete actuals. Next. Finish. Okay, then I have another one. I'm going to add windows. Window. Next. Next. A window. $20 per unit. Next. 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 Do not auto complete actuals. Next. Finish. I shift left. Okay, so let me just add this. Then it will be the last one I'm going to add for material. Add my ties. Next material, next per unit, not using each. $5 per unit. Next, 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 next. In order to complete actual, next, finish, shift left. So I now have these materials I've added. Okay, now if I want to make corrections to what I did initially, like this one I used dollar, come here and change it to, okay, let's see, display the unit measure that we have here. If I want to change what I have here, okay, come here and change it to each. So if it's not the right unit of measure to use, it will not accept it. So I move to the next one, change it to each, 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 changes to each as well. Good. Now we have added our materials to resources. Okay, so I'm going to move quickly and now assign these materials to activities. We have to assign these materials to activities. So to do this, we move to our activities tab. Then for each of these activity, you highlight each of them. So for each of these activity, you're going to assign materials and non-labor. Okay, so for the first activity I have here, glasswork replacement, I'm going to assign materials to it. Okay, so for me to assign materials to it, I will come down to this activity detail, click on resources tab, then start adding materials. So you click add resource. Now for glasswork replacement, if I have any resource there, I'm going to now scroll to material. For glasswork replacement, I'm going to click window, add window. So I will not close this assign resources dialog box, so I'll quickly navigate between the two of them. Tiling, scroll to ties, select ties, then painting new work, select painting. I did not add paint as a material. I will just select doors, assign doors here, also select doors. Then repair and fixation of pressure switch. So let's select pressure switch here. Then repair and fixation of floating valve. Select floating valve as my expense here, material cost here. Then repair and fixation of toilet flushing. So there's the toilet flushing. Select repair and fixation of wash basin flushing system. Select this. Then replacement and fixation of kitchen cabinet accessories. So I didn't also add this as part of my material, so I'll just choose any one here for the sake of this class. I'm going to select ties. Okay, so I can now close this dialog box. So I've assigned materials to activities. That's also supposed to do that same for non-labor and equipment. Okay, so to assign non-labor, you also do this, follow the same step and click add here, and one after the other scroll to where you have the non-labor and equipment. So highlight the activity here, tiling work, new and repair. I'm going to use the non-labor I have here. Let's say I'm going to use D10. The last work and replacement, let's say I'm going to use scaffold. Then painting work and new repair, I'm going to use scaffold. Doors, windows, ironmongery, I'm going to use 40 mobile crane. Pressure switch, I'm going to use let's say I'm going to use forklift. Floating valve, let's say I'm going to use forklift. Flushing system, let's say I'm going to use excavator. I'm just assuming for this class. So wash and basin, I'm going to use D10. And lastly, kitchen cabinet accessories, I'm going to use scaffold. Okay, so I close. So now I've added non-labor and equipment. Then also I've added expenses. So I've added the material to the project. Now the next step now for me to now add up my expenses. Okay, the expenses for the project. So you have two options of doing that. It's either you set up your expenses by using the project expenses or using the activity detail. So if you want to use the project expenses, you click the project menu, you scroll down to look for the project data, which is expensive. You click on it. You now have this. So you do that from here. I will do one from here, then I'll move to activity window and use the activity details to add my expenses for this video. Excuse me. So to do that, I've already added this up, but to start adding, you click your add, then you now select the activity for the expenses. So I've selected my first activity. Then I'm going to type the expense name for this activity. Okay, so I'm going to type transportation. We are going to be paying for the transportation. Okay, then what expense category does this belong to? You have the list of expense categories. So if you don't have the expense category you have here, you close this, then you go to your admin categories to now create this expense category so that you can use it for subsequent expense add up. So I'm going to select under material the expense category. Then you have your cost account. If you have created your cost account, you add it. But for this class, I've not created cost account. So for the vendor, I'm going to add a vendor. I'm going to add Chisco Transport. All right. So then we have the details here. So when the expense is highlighted, you move down to this expense detail here. So you see the information you have entered. If you have any document here, you type the document number. Okay, then you also have the activity tab. That's for tiling work and repair. So expense is transportation from bringing the tiles from the warehouse to site. Okay, Then it's giving us the status of activity, that the activity has not started. Then the primary resource is charge B. Then the date this activity is supposed to start, supposed to have started on the 10th of June. Then you now also have accurate type. The accurate type, we have the three types. That's the end of activity, start of activity, and uniform over the activity. See, so you need to decide when will this expense be expended. Is it at the beginning of that activity? So it depends on the duration of the activity. If the activity is 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. So when will the expense be incurred? Is it at the beginning, or at the beginning of the activity, or at the end, or you prorate it within the period of the activity? Okay, so but I'm going to do that since I have a yard. So I'm going to store this in my yard. So I'm going to put at the start of the activity. Okay, then move to cost. So the budgeted unit here now. Okay, now for this expense now, I don't need any budgeted unit. I only know the cost, how much it's going to cost me. So I'm not going to enter any budgeted unit. So what I'm going to do, I'll just simply enter the budgeted cost. So to transport the bulk of these ties from the warehouse to our yard will cost me $1,500. So that's what I'm going to do. So by Primavera will now automate the remaining entries for me. So since I've entered my budgeted cost, so I now have Primavera calculate the budgeted unit for me, okay, and the price per unit. Then the expense per unit complete. The work has not started, so it's still 0%. Then I move to description. So if there's anything I want to write here, describe about the transportation, you simply click modify and you type transport material from the vendor warehouse to the yard. Then another additional information, if I want to say vendor Chisco transport. Then you click OK. Now good. So that's that. Then that's one option. Another option of adding your expenses is using the activity detail. So if you look at the activity detail we have here, there's no space or tab for expense or expenses. So all you need to do is to come here, put your cursor here, right click on the pane here, you select the customized activity detail, then you see expense option here. So you have expenses, you add it. So I may want to add my summary too. Summary, then I click OK. So I now have these two added. Alright, so you see the transportation created at the project expenses here. It's already added up. Okay, that's for tiling. So I'll just quickly rush the remaining one. Once you see the glass work, add. You click add. You type for the glass work. Click glass block. Expense category. Material. Then so add beginning at the start of the activity. I'll just move to budgeted cost. This will cost say $2,500. Vendor Satuma Limited. Alright, then I'll move to the next one. Painting work and repair. I have the expenses here for painting. Okay, I have my gloss paint, and let me do for doors and windows. I'm going to add doors and windows. I'm going to have doors, windows. Okay, no, let me just add the expenses. Transportation, expense category, travel, and at the beginning, cost, transportation cost $40. Then I had another one, another expense here, say call card, expense category, okay. So I don't have the expense category I want. Okay, so I'm going to just use administration, then accept the uniform over activity. My budgeted cost, budget $500. So I go to plumbing too, and I add expense. So to do that, just click add, look for all the expense. Also I have transportation, I have call card, and let's say enter transportation for it again. Okay, expense category, travel, then to start, or I'm going to pay at the end of the activity. And the budgeted cost, we say $350. So this is how you add your expenses, either through the activity detail or through the project data here. So then when you are done, if you want to view the summary of what you have done, you click the summary tab, drag this up a bit, so to display the cost. So you now have a summary of the budgeted cost for this activity: repair and fixation of pressure switch. The labor cost is $2,240. The non-labor cost $2,560. Then the material cost is $2,560 for these two. Then the expenses is $350. While the total cost for this activity is $7,710. So if you want to display date too, to tell the date this activity will start. Okay, this is the current date for it to start. It's also the current date to finish, 14th. Original date 10th. Original finish date 14th of June. So to give you the information about the date of that activity. Then also the unit, display the unit, budgeted labor unit, budgeted non-labor unit 32, budgeted duration, which is 4 days, actual duration 0 because the activity has not started. So very interesting. So let me scroll. Now the next step I want to do, or what I want to show you, is to format the columns. Okay, now to have a holistic view of what you have done, or have a broader view of what you have done, so I'm going to format the columns. In formatting the column, you click the column from the shortcut here, or you simply go to view and expand, click column, then click cost, expand, scroll to budgeted expense cost, push right, scroll down. I don't want to see this total float for now, take it out. Schedule percentage complete, I don't see it for now, I take it out. So just to maximize space, then I'll go back to my cost. So I'll add my budgeted material cost, shift, then budgeted non-labor cost. Where's my non-labor cost? Okay, yeah, add budgeted labor cost, and lastly budgeted total cost. Click OK. Wow, so this is what you have done so far. Now let me remove activity detail, show on button, click no button layouts. Okay, see my work, the schedule is progressing. I now have my cost estimates in my schedule. Expand, see further view. So let me reduce this. Alright, original duration, remaining duration, starts, finish, weighted expense cost, weighted material cost, weighted non-labor cost, and weighted labor cost, and lastly weighted total cost. So the total cost for this project that we're weighted for this project is $91,030 $30. And each of the WBS has its own breakdown summary. So for civil is the budgeted cost for or estimate for civil maintenance work is $46,880. Then for plumbing maintenance work, $11,790. For the next one, what's the next one? Drainage maintenance work, $20,160. Then carpentry, $12,200. So the total sum budgeted cost for this project is now $91,030. So this is how you estimate your budgeted cost for your project. Thank you for watching this video.